Let's learn about the childhood of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His birth, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the master of prophets, was born in Bani Hashim Lane in Makkah on Monday morning, the 9th of Rabi al-Awwal, the same year of the elephant event, and 40 years of the reign of Kisra, Khosru Nushirwan, i.e., the 20th or 22nd of April, 571 AD. Ibn Sa'd reported that Muhammad's mother said, "When he was born, there was a light that issued out of my pudendum and lit the palaces of Syria." Ahmad reported on the authority of Arbad bin Sariya something similar to this. His mother immediately sent someone to inform his grandfather Abdul Muttalib of the happy event. Happily, he came to her, carried him to Al-Kaaba, prayed to Allah, and thanked him. Abdul Muttalib called the baby Muhammad, a name not then common among the Arabs. He circumcised him on his 7th day, as was the custom of the Arabs. The first woman who suckled him after his mother was Tuyaba, the concubine of Abu Lahab, with her son Masru. She had suckled Hamza bin Abdul Muttalib before, and later Abu Salama bin Abdul Asad al-Makhzumi. Babyhood. It was the general custom of the Arabs living in towns to send their children away to Bedouin wet nurses so that they might grow up in the free and healthy surroundings of the desert, whereby they would develop a robust frame and acquire the pure speech and manners of the Bedouins, who were noted both for chastity of their language and for being free from those vices which usually develop in sedentary societies. The Prophet ﷺ was later entrusted to Halima bint Abi Dawaib from Bani Sa'd bin Bakr. Her husband was Al-Harith bin Abdul Uzza, called Abi Kabsha, from the same tribe. Muhammad ﷺ had several foster brothers and sisters: Abdullah bin Al-Harith, Anisa bint Al-Harith, Hudafa, or Judamah bint Al-Harith, known as Ash-Shayma, and she used to nurse the Prophet ﷺ, and Abu Sufyan bin Al-Harith bin Abdul Muttalib, the Prophet's cousin. Hamza bin Abdul Muttalib, the Prophet's uncle, was suckled by the same two wet nurses, Thuyaba and Halima as-Sadiya, who suckled the Prophet ﷺ. Traditions delightfully relate how Halima and the whole of her household were favored by successive strokes of good fortune, while the baby Muhammad ﷺ lived under her care. Ibn Ishaq states that Halima narrated that she, along with her husband and a suckling babe, set out from her village in the company of some women of her clan in quest of children to suckle. She said, "It was a year of drought and famine, and we had nothing to eat. I rode on a brown she-ass. We also had with us an old she-camel. By all, we could not get even a drop of milk. We could not have a wink of sleep during the night, for the child kept crying on account of hunger. There was not enough milk in my breast, and even the she-camel had nothing to feed him. We used to constantly pray for rain and immediate relief. At length we reached Makkah, looking for children to suckle. Not even a single woman amongst us accepted the messenger of all, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, offered to her. As soon as they were told that he was an orphan, they refused him. We had fixed our eyes on the reward that we would get from the child's father. An orphan! What are his grandfather and mother likely to do? So we spurned him because of that. Every woman who came with me got a suckling, and when we were about to depart, I said to my husband, 'I do not like to go back along with the other women without any baby. I should go to that orphan, and I must take him.' He said, 'There is no harm in doing so, and perhaps Allah might bless us through him.' So I went and took him, because there was simply no other alternative left for me but to take him. When I lifted him in my arms and returned to my place, I put him on my breast, and to my great surprise, I found enough milk in it. He drank to his heart's content, and so did his foster brother, and then both of them went to sleep, although my baby had not been able to sleep the previous night. My husband then went to the she-camel to milk it, and to his astonishment, he found plenty of milk in it. He milked it, and we drank to our fill, and enjoyed a sound sleep during the night. The next morning my husband said, 'By Allah, Halima, you must understand that you have been able to get a blessed child.' And I replied, 'By the grace of Allah, I hope so.' The tradition is explicit on the point that Halima's return journey and her subsequent life, as long as the Prophet ﷺ stayed with her, was encircled with a halo of good fortune. The donkey that she rode when she came to Makkah was lean and almost foundered. It recovered speed, much to the amazement of Halima's fellow travelers. By the time they reached the encampments in the country of the clan of Saad, they found the scales of fortune turned in their favor. The barren land sprouted forth luxuriant grass, and beasts came back to them, satisfied and full of milk. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam stayed with Halima for 2 years until he was weaned, as Halima said. We then took him back to his mother, requesting her earnestly to have him stay with us and benefit by the good fortune and blessings he had brought us. We persisted in our request, which we substantiated by our anxiety over the child catching a certain infection peculiar to Makkah. At last, we were granted our wish, and the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, stayed with us until he was 4 or 5 years of age. When, as related by Anas in Sahih Muslim, Gabriel came down and ripped his chest open and took out the heart, he then extracted a blood clot out of it and said, "That was the part of Satan in thee." And then he washed it with the water of Zamzam in a gold basin. After that, the heart was joined together and restored to its place. The boys and playmates came running to his mother, i.e., his nurse, and said, "Verily, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been murdered." They all rushed towards him and found him all right, only his face was white. Back to his passionate mother. After this event, Halima was worried about the boy and returned him to his mother, with whom he stayed until he was 6. In respect of the memory of her late husband, Amina decided to visit his grave in Yathrib, in Medina. She set out to cover a journey of 500 kilometers with her orphan boy, woman servant Ayman, and her father-in-law Abdul Muttalib. She spent a month there and then took her way back to Makkah. On the way, she had a severe illness and died in Abwa, on the road between Makkah and Medina. His compassionate grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, brought the boy to Makkah. He had warm passions towards the boy, his orphan grandson, whose recent disaster, his mother's death, added more to the pains of the past. Abdul Muttalib was more passionate with his grandson than with his own children. His children used to sit around that mattress in honor to their father, but Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, used to sit on it. His uncles would take him back, but if Abdul Muttalib was present, he would say, "Leave my grandson. I swear by all that this boy will hold a significant position." He used to seat the boy on his mattress, pat his back, and was always pleased with what the boy did. When Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was 8 years, 2 months, and 10 days old, his grandfather Abdul Muttalib passed away in Makkah. The charge of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was now passed on to his uncle Abu Talib, who was the brother of the Prophet's father. Abu Talib took the charge of his nephew in the best way. He put him with his children and preferred him to them. He singled the boy out with great respect and high esteem. Abu Talib remained for 40 years cherishing his nephew and extending all possible protection and support to him. His relations with the others were determined in the light of the treatment they showed to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.